Brett.
Beaumont will be traveling from left to right. And the boot is away from Quist Duarte.
Little squib kick taken at the 32-yard line. And downed right there is Elijah Cervantes for the Cougars. So it'll be 1st and 10 Beaumont. They're going to put the ball at the 34-yard line, it looks.
The Beaumont quarterback is Chris Cooper, a sophomore. He's passed for 1,176 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Cooper has completed over 70% of his passes, and many of those passes have gone to number 9, Gabriel Nunez, who has 10 receiving touchdowns this season, including 5 last week against Summit.
Those of you on radio, Beaumont with the ball going right to left across your dial towards the scoreboard end of Banning High School. Cuellar is the running back. He goes in motion on 1st and 10. And Cooper fires to Nunez across the middle at the 35. Hit immediately and flung down there for a 1-yard gain. And that was a nice hit for Banning. I think it was Nicholas Solomon, Brett, the defensive back who came up in a hurry. Solomon's also played quarterback for them. 2nd down and 9. Beaumont with 3 wide to the right this time. And Cooper's throw intercepted. Tipped, caught at the 50 by Banning, returned across the 40. And it's that same gentleman, I believe, Nicholas Solomon, who picked the tip ball out of the air, took it back, and the Broncos get the early turnover.
Yeah, and that, if you're the underdog, that's what you want early in the game. Your defense causes a turnover, and now Solomon Nicholas, who intercepted that pass, is also going to be the starting quarterback, I believe, for Banning. So the Broncos have what they needed early in the game. They got a break on a tip pass. Now they run more of an option-type offense. They're going to have 3 running backs in the backfield, and this is more like a triple option type of offense.
So Nicholas at quarterback on 1st and 10. And they'll give it off tackle right as the pile moves down to the 37-yard line.
And for Beaumont, this is a different kind of offense that they're going to face here tonight. The first 3 opponents, they faced mainly offenses that use the spread and threw the football most of the time. Banning's going to want to run the ball a lot, shorten the game, use the clock, try to limit Beaumont's possessions, and be able to grind out first downs all at the same time.
2nd down and 7 for Banning. Option and a fumble over near the Beaumont sideline. Big pile up. Beaumont says they've got it. And it looks like it is Cougar ball. 1st and 10. The referee is still talking to the side judge about it. But the Beaumont offense is coming on the field, Brett.
And that's a risky run when you run the triple option. The ball changes hands a lot. In that case, the quarterback tried to pitch the ball. And now we might have an overrule here. Looks like some of the Banning offensive linemen are coming back onto the field, and the Beaumont defense is coming back onto the field. So
no turnover.
Yeah. And well, where they're spotting the ball, they're saying it's an incomplete pass, but the pitch was backwards. So
Well, now shouldn't it be 3rd down?
No, it should be Beaumont ball, because if they're ruling that pitch to the running back that was dropped and fumbled was an incomplete pass, then that's the wrong call.
So Banning is going to keep it here. A big break early. 3rd and 7 for the Broncos. We'll see what they can do. Full house backfield. Option to the left, and this time Nicholas is tripped up trying to go around the corner. And that will take it back to the original line of scrimmage and bring up 4th and 10. And Banning is going to keep the offense out there.
Well, they do bring on a new player. That's Marco Lopez, number 12. And it doesn't look like they're going to have a punter out there on this fourth down play.
The Broncos will go for it on fourth down.
3 running backs in a triangle behind the quarterback, Nichols, who's under center. Nickel has taken a look at the Beaumont defense, now into the crouch for the snap. And is back to throw with pressure on, unloads, incomplete. That ball was dropped at the 30, in and out of the hands of the receiver. And Beaumont will take over on downs. Cougar football brought to you by AC Propane Company, located at 296 California in Beaumont. Independently family owned with over 40 years of experience. They offer the most competitive prices, and they can save you money on your propane bill. On-site bottle refills, residential and commercial propane delivery. Stop in and see them today or call 951-845-8800. So Beaumont gets it back. Cooper's throw into the flat, caught at the 40, 45, 50, a first down in the Banning territory at the 47-yard line.
For the Cougars.
And that was Gabe Nunez on the screen pass to the left. Made the first guy miss and then got a couple blocks down the field. Was able to pick up about 12 yards.
Beaumont's going to go with 4 wide receivers again. Banning looks like they've got it stacked to the left defensively. Overplayed that way with the shift. And Cooper throws that way into it. Nunez at the 45-40, 35-30, and stepped out of bounds, but he got the first down. They will spot him out on the Cougar sideline at the 28.
That's a gain of 17 yards for Gabriel Nunez. The reason why Banning had so many players to that side of the field is because that's where Nunez lined up.
8:53 to go in the first quarter. We are scoreless. Beaumont with the ball for the second time tonight. Cuellar is in at running back. Cooper throws again, and again it's caught over there on the left side at the 21-yard line. That's the short side of the field. That was German that was over there.
Solomon German. He's a junior. Had some nice catches last week against Summit, including a 61-yard pass play.
So an 8-yard gain. Second down and 2. And Cervantes checks in at wide receiver on the right. Here's the pitch to Cuellar at the 20. Cuts it back at the 15. He's inside the 10. 5 into the end zone. Touchdown, Beaumont.
Touchdown, Beaumont Cougars.
Cuellar lined up on the left, went out into the flat, took that quick pitch, and the offensive line did the rest.
And for Cuellar, that's his 4th rushing touchdown of the year, the longest run he's had all year. The running game really struggled last week against Summit, but they opened up a nice hole there on the left side for Cuellar to score that touchdown.
So now let's see about PATs, which have been interesting. 2-point conversion here on the ground, and good for the 2-point conversion. That was Cuellar on the right side, so it's 8-0 Beaumont early, and the Cougars will kick off when we come back in a moment. .757. Beaumont leads Banning in the War for the Wheel 2021. The Cougars kicking off, and a short squib kick was taken by the Broncos. Penalty flag was thrown, but they're going to pick it up or they're going to spot it off. Holding against the Broncos on the run back.
Well, let's see. The Cougars have their kicking team back on the field. I think there's a lot of confusion on both sidelines as to how this penalty is going to be administered.
One of the best stories in high school sports this year, 82-year-old John Tyree, who was the coach at Banning High School, coming out of retirement down in Texas to take this program on. He's an Inland Empire resident, lives in Redlands, and has been successful for going on 4 decades now. If you talk to any football coach in Southern California who's been here a while, they will mention his name. CIF championships, lots of success. And if he was the guy to get Banning back on the winning side for football, that would be quite a way to cap his career. Although who knows, he might not be done. Said he wants to be here a while, and his other hobby is racing Porsches, so he's not your average 82-year-old.
Okay, this officiating crew has been having some issues here early in this game. There was a penalty against Banning, yet they backed the Cougars up thinking that they were going to kick from the 35-yard line. Well, that's not right. They moved it up 5 yards now to the 45-yard line.
And Beaumont will kick it deep now as Crowd puts it in play. Bounces at the 20, and a big bounce took it out of bounds on the Beaumont side, and that drew the penalty flag for that. Beaumont with an advantage as far as size goes, Banning with 26 players on the roster tonight. Although anyone who's followed this rivalry, particularly in recent years, will tell you Beaumont has enjoyed the advantage in numbers and in size. Banning usually has speed, and that's tended to work out pretty well for them over the years.
35-yard line.
Well, they're going to put the ball on the 30 here.
On the 30.
And that's where Banning will have it. 1st and 10. And Nicholas will be under center again with that trio of running backs behind him in a triangle. And on 1st down, he gives it to the first man through, and that is the fullback, good for about a 2-yard gain, Devin Watley, number 21.
When your defense faces an option-type offense, the first matter that you have to attend to is stopping the fullback dive. Because if you can't stop that, then that's going to be run down your throat the entire night. You got to stop that inside fullback dive and then force the quarterback to run with the ball, or either have him pitch the ball to a running back.
Watley's only a freshman. They fake the handoff to him here, and then a fumble in the backfield, and Beaumont on top of it at the 30-yard line.
Now again, they're saying that the pass is backwards, but yet they're saying it's an incomplete pass. That's not the right call. The lateral went backwards. Yeah, I mean, it's Beaumont ball because they screwed up the first one.
Right.
And I think anybody that knows football knows that when you pitch the ball backwards and the ball hits the ball hits the ground, it's a live ball. But yet this officiating crew didn't know that on the first one.
Now Beaumont is going to get this one, so that will be the second turnover of the game. Each team with 1 turnover. And Beaumont's going to get a great opportunity here with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Already leading 8-0. Cuellar is the tailback this time, behind Cooper. And Cuellar hit straight on as he tried to go up the middle. That was a nice defensive play by Xavier Davis from Banning.
He actually knocked the ball out of Cuellar's hands, but the ball bounced right back up to Cuellar's stomach, and he was able to recover it.
So 2nd and 10. Nunez and German are both in the slot on the far side here. Cuellar, big hole up the middle, 25-20, 15, and has the first down at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, this is something that I'm sure the coaching staff for the Beaumont Cougars have been waiting for. They've been waiting for Armando Cuellar to find some holes from the offensive line and be able to run the ball well. He had 300-yard-plus games in the spring. He's off to a good start here tonight.
1st and 10 Cougars. Cooper to throw. Nunez makes the catch at the 10, out of a tackle at the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown Banning, or touchdown Beaumont. The Cougars strike again. Nunez with his 11th touchdown of the year.
And it looked like Banning had 2 guys out there that were waiting for Nunez. One of them tried to deflect the ball away before Nunez caught it, and then the other player tried to make the tackle but missed it.
2-point conversion. Cuellar goes right up the middle and gets thrown back. So the PAT fails, and it'll stay 14-0 Beaumont, 6:13 to go in the first quarter on KMET. The Beaumont kick is away deep to the 15-yard line, returned back and blown dead at the 18.
Well, Beaumont's been using a different player to kick the ball off.
That is Caden Steins, who got added to the roster this week.
Yeah, Anson Crowd had been doing most of the kicking.
Wouldn't you know it, another flag, and it's on the Banning side of the ball.
That's usually where it's some kind of blocking penalty. But they say that it's a penalty against the Cougars.
Personal foul on the Cougars.
So personal foul Beaumont is a 15-yard penalty. And the ball comes out to the 24-yard line for Banning. And now the entire Banning offense has kind of come over to the sideline and talk it over. So I'm assuming somebody took, it was Banning that took the timeout, and we'll keep things here. It was our first look at Banning this year. They're in the Desert Valley League, or the DVL to be short, which is a little unique because all the rest of the schools in that league are down past Palm Springs. Desert Hot Springs is the next closest one.
Makes for some long bus rides.
Cathedral City, 29 Palms, Yucca Valley, Coachella, Indio, Desert Mirage, yeah, some long bus rides. Banning will have their league opener next week. They'll play Yucca Valley here at home. we'll be in Beaumont next week for what I think might be one of the best games of the season. Beaumont and San Jacinto have a pretty good rivalry, but it goes back to the 20s, just like this one with Banning does, because San Jacinto and Hemet have always had their own high schools. And more often than not, they've been in the same league with Beaumont and Banning. So San Jacinto and Beaumont are no strangers. And if you talk to anybody who's lived any amount of time in either area, they'll tell you that. All right, well, following the penalty, 1st and 10, fumble, picked up in the backfield, and a loss as Nicholas is taken down. He picked that one up and couldn't do anything with it after that.
And when you're the team that's the underdog, you can't afford to make a whole lot of mistakes. And unfortunately for the Banning offense, the ball has hit the ground quite often here in this first quarter. Now, they were lucky to get that one back on the first down play.
A 5-yard loss, 2nd down and 15. Cougars are going to put 5 on the line. Motion to the right by Watley. And throw it on the run, and at the 42-yard line, that is incomplete. Nicholas drifting towards the sideline when he let it go. So 3rd down coming up.
Well, Beaumont's 3-0, but they have played some good competition here early in this season. They played, I think, a very talented Orange Vista team that hasn't lost since Beaumont beat them in week 0, and they beat a pretty solid Marietta Mesa team, and I think a pretty good Summit team last week.
3rd and 15 for Nicholas. High pitch in the backfield, and around the left side out to the 31-yard line. That's Cadence Temez, and it will bring up 4th down.
And I think it's too far to go for it here if you're Banning, so I think we're going to have to see the punting unit out on the field for the Broncos.
That would be a first if that is the case.
Gabe Nunez is going to be back deep on punt return for the Cougars. And I think the Broncos are still trying to figure out who's supposed to be on the field.
Well, Chris Duarte is the punter, number 12. He's standing back at the 18-yard line. Waiting for the snap. And his kick is away from the 20. A low bouncing kick. Nunez takes it on one bounce at the 40. 45, 50, 45, 40 down the sideline, 35, and dives to the 31. And the Cougars will get a short field to work with again. And we'll come back right after this. And did he stay in bounds? He got into the end zone. Touchdown, Beaumont.
Touchdown, number 1, Anson Crott.
Well, Anson Crott did a nice job there of tight roping the far sideline and made a cut back to the inside to his right and scores another Cougar touchdown to make it 20-0.
Extra points have been an adventure, and the Cougars are going to go for 2 here. Ball fumbled in the backfield, but they're going to get it in. They didn't have a quarterback in the game, I believe. That was number 26, no, number 36. That's Taven Anderson, who normally punts, but he takes it in for a 2-point conversion. And it's 22-0 Beaumont. Still with 3:14 left to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Taven Anderson plays a lot of different positions for the Beaumont Cougars. Plays linebacker on defense. He's the team's punter. He can play tight end. That time he played a Wildcat quarterback. Had some issues with the snap, but when the ball bounced right back up to him, he saw the running lane to his right and took it into the end zone.
So, Cougars have been able to take advantage of turnovers. And this is a squib kick that will be taken. No, they're going to let it bounce. It went 10 yards, and it's a live ball. And a big pile up, and Banning fortunate to get that one at the 43. They waited too long. But it's going to turn into their best position tonight to start a drive.
Yeah, if you're a Beaumont Cougar, you got the bounce you wanted. And in that situation, once the ball hits the ground, it's a live ball. And either team can recover it, and Banning was able to at their own 43.
So Banning needing to get something going on offense. Even a first down just to get a drive going here. And again, they'll try to go up the middle, nothing doing. Bouncing off a tackler at the 40 and spun down at the 36-yard line. That's Eric Smith getting the carry. Smith, Watley, and Temez are the big three at running back.
Yeah, this first quarter hasn't gone the way that the Banning coaching staff wanted it to. And unfortunately, if you're the team that's the underdog, the last thing that you want to do is turn the ball over and make it easier for your opponent. And that's what, unfortunately for the Broncos, that's what they've done so far.
On second down, Nicholas rolling right, being chased at the 40 and taken down from behind. That's going to result in a 1-yard loss at the 43.
And that was a nice tackle over there. I thought that Solomon Nicholas had some running room over there on the far side, but that was a nice tackle from behind for Beaumont.
Timeout, Banning.
Banning's going to take another timeout. We will as well, with the Cougars leading 22-0. You're listening to Beaumont High School football on KMET. Radio, 1490 AM, online, the apps, and our friends on the City of Banning YouTube feed tonight on the simulcast for the video. Pascock, German is at the 15, 10, 5, rolls over a tackler and is in for the touchdown. And the Cougars strike again.
Touchdown, Beaumont Cougars.
I'm going to say 25 yards unofficially.
Yeah. That's got to feel good for Solomon German. That's his first touchdown of the season, and he showed off some speed, able to outrun a couple of defenders to the corner, and then he ran over the last defender just short of the goal line and just ran right through him, right into the end zone for the score.
Going to be a 2-point conversion. And on the ground again.
And that one is good.
So a 30-0 Beaumont lead. And the Cougars will kick it off when we return in a moment on KMET. With all insurance companies and their iCar and ASE satisfied, they'll get you back on the road safely and quickly. Independently owned and operated by Joe Nevins at 375 West 6th Street in Beaumont. Stop in and see why they have thousands of satisfied customers. The Beaumont kickoff into the end zone for the touchback.
Yeah, you said it earlier in the first quarter. If you're the Banning Broncos, right now, the first objective, just get a first down. Don't worry about trying to score a field goal or a touchdown. Just pick up your first down and then go from there.
Nicholas under center. And they tried that draw on the left side. Beaumont was not fooled.
No, fullback dive didn't work there because the right side of the Beaumont defensive line got into the backfield.
Adam St. Pierre leading the way. A 1-yard loss.
It's just interesting. We've seen four Beaumont games so far. They have not worn the same uniforms in any of those games. They've come out with 4 different set of uniforms.
You're right. On second down, some daylight across the 30-yard line, diving ahead, and that should be a Banning first down as Solomon Nicholas just kept it on his own.
And there you go if you're the Broncos. You ran the option, and the quarterback saw the hole on the right side of their offensive line, took the lane there, and picked up about 15 yards.
Axel Avias checks in at wide receiver. Cougars stack the box here on 1st and 10. And the keeper, Nicholas, tried to go around the left, well defended, and a 1-yard loss.
And that was Adam St. Pierre once again. He and Kevin Palacios really played a strong game for Beaumont last week when they shut out Summit in the first half. They built that 26-0 lead, and then Summit got it going a little bit in the fourth quarter, but I don't think Beaumont was really in any danger of losing that game. And That's where you want to be strong up front. You want some depth up front. In case you're going to be facing teams with similar styles of offense, you need that D line to play consistently well.
2nd down and 11. A little screen pass at the 30 and shoved out of bounds.
And he fumbled the ball.
Came out again, and it looked like it stayed in bounds.
No indication on who recovered it. I thought Banning did.
Yeah, their offense is staying out there, but they're actually going to spot it as a 1-yard gain. So it'll be 3rd down and 11. Banning looking at it from their own 34-yard line.
Third down, 9 yards to go.
3 running backs, a wing back, and 1 receiver. Nicholas to the right and crossed the line of scrimmage, but had to step out of bounds.
Yeah, it was good contained there by the Beaumont defense. They had a couple guys over there just in case the quarterback kept the ball, and Nicholas was hoping that he could have a running lane to his right, but there wasn't much there.
Adam St. Pierre again, and right behind him was Jordan Valencia for the Cougars.
Well, the punting unit is on the field. Summit used a fake punt last week to pick up a first down against the Cougars, and I would not be surprised if they try a fake of some kind here.
Chris Duarte is the punter, and Banning got a man on the field late. That should be a flag. They didn't throw it. And the kick is away. And down at the 33. Did they not have a man running onto the field when he kicked it?
Well, maybe they only had 10 guys to begin with.
Okay.
There's no flag.
All right, so it'll be Beaumont ball at the 33-yard line. Now, we should tell you, if you're a Banning fan, yeah, you want to win this game, but I wouldn't get too upset. I'm trying to say this nicely, but the Desert Valleys League is the smaller of the 2 desert leagues. The big one is the one with Palm Springs and Palm Desert, and there's a big difference between that one and the DVL. So what I'm saying is if Banning can use this game to get competitive, there's every reason to think that they can win games in the DVL starting next week.
Yeah, more than likely, they're not going to consistently play teams with the kind of numbers and the kind of speed and strength that Beaumont has.
Cooper throws. It's caught at the 40, 45, 50. Look out. Foot race at the 40, 30. Nunez at the 20. Down the sideline at the 10. And finally wrapped up from behind about the 5. And that was all Nunez, just a little 7-yard out.
Yeah, just a hitch route there. And then all of a sudden he split the difference near midfield, took off down the right sideline. Finally got caught inside the 10. And Banning is not going to play consistently against a sophisticated passing offense that Beaumont has to offer too. There's that.
1st and goal, Beaumont. Motion to the right. Cuellar up the middle, and did he get in? Yes, but there's a flag thrown behind the play.
Yeah, and the referee threw, and he was 30 yards away from the play.
We also have an injured Beaumont player down. Fortunately, he's getting up.
Again, usually on a holding penalty, the umpire calls it, but yet one thing I've noticed with this officiating crew, the referee has thrown the flag every single time.
It's almost like he's making up for other guys' calls or non-calls.
Or the crew has decided, well, the referee is going to administer all the penalties, and he's going to have the final say no matter what the penalty is or where on the field it happens. Which to me is not a very good way to have an officiating crew. That's not healthy.
They're going to put the ball back at the 16-yard line.
You want the other officials to think that they're important on the field, and if they see a penalty, then they should have the freedom to throw the flag and let the referee know, hey, this is what I saw.
Nunez goes in motion. They hand it to him. Nunez cuts it back at the 10 and is down at the 9. Banning running some new linemen into the game. It's going to be 3rd down and goal for Beaumont.
The down marker says 2.
Okay,
I think that's
correct.
because of the penalty.
Right. 30-0. Beaumont leads this game in the second quarter. The Cougars trying to come up with another one right here. Cooper gives it off up the middle for the touchdown. Cuellar?
Yep, that was Cuellar. And he came out of the backfield, got the ball in the handoff, and he went in untouched.
So Cuellar gets his second touchdown of the night. And the Cougars get ready for the conversion, which will be a 2-point attempt. On the ground.
And that's Christian Davis. He tries to spin his way into the end zone, but he comes up about a yard short.
So it will remain 36-0 Beaumont with 6.5 minutes to go until halftime. You're listening to Cougar Football on KMET. Came in tonight averaging close to 36 points a game. That's what they're sitting on right now. Midway through this second quarter, 36-0. Beaumont leading Banning in the war for the wheel. Banning just trying to get something going on offense, something positive. They go with motion to the right. And a misdirection play inside. And again, the Cougar defense is not fooled, and that will be a 1-yard loss at the 20.
Well, I like the way that the Beaumont kickoffs are going either into the end zone or they're being kicked deep down the field. Anson Kraut did the best that he could, and Beaumont tried some different squib kicks or pooch kicks. But when you go up against a team that has similar talent than you do, on those kickoffs, you'd like to kick them out of the end zone if you can to make a team start at the 20-yard line and have to drive 80 yards to score a touchdown.
Nicholas fakes the handoff, back to throw, high but caught across the 25-yard line. That was a nice grab.
Yeah, that was number 11, Alexis Nunez, a junior, making a nice catch near the numbers, about 2 yards short of the first down.
So Banning don't have a chance here. 3rd and 2.
I mean, the kickoffs into the end zone, it also saves your return team from having to make a tackle.
Right.
And your defense appreciates it. Because unfortunately with squib kicks and pooch kicks, you're usually giving up anywhere from 15 to 20 yards of field position and making it that much easier for the offense of the other team.
Broncos go on the ground. There is nothing there. And it's going to bring up 4th down. They did not get a gain, so 4th down and 3, and would fully expect them to go for it here.
I would think so. Well, they actually gave him a yard on that play, which to me is hard to believe.
The Broncos are going for a 4th
because the running back did not get back to the line of scrimmage. He wasn't even close.
Axel Avila checks in at wide receiver. Beaumont will put 4 on the line. Broncos have 1 timeout left there in the first half. Nicholas with a screen pass, nothing doing. It was caught, but
I think the ball is intercepted.
Well, as they unpile, let's see. The Cougars had 2 defenders there, and they are going to give it to Beaumont.
I think so. I thought that number 42 took the ball right away from the receiver.
That number 42 for Beaumont.
Yeah, 42 for Beaumont.
That is Jimmy Dominguez, who just came up this week.
Oh, he made a nice play. I mean, that was supposed to be a flare pass to the running back, and Dominguez just basically ripped the ball right out of the running back's hands and came up with the interception. That was a nice defensive play.
So that's going to count as the 4th Banning turnover here in the first half.
The Cougars have possession on the 22-yard line. First and 10.
So Beaumont will take over at the 22-yard line. Official talking to Chris Cooper, the Beaumont quarterback, about something with 4:05 to go until halftime.
Now, what could the official be talking to Cooper
I have
about?
no clue. Cooper back in the shotgun. Cuellar behind him. Triangle of receivers on the right. Now Cuellar goes in motion that way. And Cooper throws in the slot. It is complete. It is Nunez out of a tackle, 15, and taken down at the 13 before he could turn the corner.
Yeah, he shook 2 ankle tackles and got to the outside. He's maybe a half a yard short of the first down.
So, 2nd down and 2. If you are just joining us and you don't live here in the pass area, Beaumont and Banning have always had the separate high schools. 2 of the oldest schools in the area. Screen pass across the middle, caught and in for the touchdown is Kraut.
Touchdown, Cougars by 10.
Unofficially 12 yards.
Run pass option. And Cooper got the ball quickly out of his hands. Quick slant to Kraut, who was open inside the 5 once he caught it. 2 steps into the end zone, and Beaumont scores again. Now, Beaumont has not tried to kick an extra point yet, and they're not going to on this touchdown, and they're gonna keep their basic offense on the field, not the short yardage unit.
And Cuellar on the misdirection.
And he goes in untouched for the 2-point conversion. Nice misdirection play.
2-point conversion.
So that should make it 44-0, all Beaumont in this first half. And we'll take a break and come back after this. Kickoff returned by the Broncos, Axel Avila.
We were talking about Gabe Nunez and how many touchdowns that he has so far this year. You can add a tackle on special teams there. He made the tackle on the kickoff return. And Banning's going to start from their own 21.
Reminder, it's a big weekend of football for us on the radio. We'll have the University of Redlands home opener tomorrow. They host the University of Puget Sound from Washington. 6:45 for the pregame. And then Rams football on Sunday night, 4:30 pregame, 5:20 from SoFi Field.
Against the Chicago Bears.
Your Chicago Bears, yep. They might have more people watching that one Sunday than they did last night, which was a pretty good game.
If Sunday gets a 15.9 rating, NBC will take that and run with it.
On first down, across the 20. And they've got a timeout here.
Well, one of the Banning offensive linemen was slow to get up, and there was another one that...
They're signaling timeout Beaumont.
Another one came off, and he's holding his left wrist.
Timeout Beaumont is what they say. We'll keep things here.
Timeout by the Beaumont Cougars.
Beaumont played week 0. Most schools did this year, but some didn't. So the schools that played that opening week, which was August 20th, get a bye week later in the season, and Jeff Steinberg set it up perfectly. The Cougars will play San Jacinto at home next Friday, the 17th, and then they'll get the week of the 24th off, so they'll have like a 2-week gap between games before they start CBL play. And they will start on the road down in Redlands against Redlands East Valley on October 1st.
And just from the results that we've seen from the non-league games involving CBL teams, the CBL's done very well.
Well, Redlands won last night again.
Yeah.
I mean, Redlands and Redlands East Valley were supposed to be the two that might be in the bottom, but so far they're looking better than they did in the spring when we saw them.
And Ukaipa's played well,
yeah.
And we know that Cajon has been the leader of the CBL for many years, and they're off to a good start.
Well, I think Cajon, Citrus Valley, Beaumont, and Ukaipa are all undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. So some good games coming up. All right, following the timeout, it's 2nd down and 8 for Banning. And again, they try the middle, but there's just nothing to be had.
And I would think Beaumont would probably call another timeout.
They just did. Jeff Steinberg's not trying to run it up here, but there's 2:43 left. And if the Cougars score one more time, first of all, I think it's going to be a very quick second half. We'll talk more about that as we go along. There are a number of things that could speed the game up that are rules, if both schools agree to them, in terms of timing and other things. But I think if they're going to play in the second half, Jeff's going to take a look at a lot of new people.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be able to play a lot of players that have been brought up from the JV, and I would imagine we would see a new quarterback as well. And you always want to have the opportunity, if you have a lot of players on your roster, you'd like to have opportunities to get everybody into the game if you can.
Well, and Beaumont is blessed. They've got more players than a lot of places do, but they couldn't play the freshman game this week. It got canceled. And then they had to play a private school from San Diego yesterday in the JV game because they lost that one too and had to pick up one at the last minute. When play resumes, it will be 3rd and 11. 44-0 Beaumont here in the second quarter. And the give is right up the middle, up to the 30-yard line, but that is all. Beaumont rolling some new players in. Josh Gutierrez, number 99, in on that tackle. It's 4th down and 9, so if you're Banning, what do you do here?
They have the punting unit on the field. I think conventional wisdom says you're too far back in your own territory to try a fake. And I think if they would have tried a fake punt, I think they would have tried it earlier in the game.
I don't know if you want to kick it to Nunez here, though. Maybe angle to the sideline.
Yeah, you kick the ball away from him. Yeah, you don't want to kick this ball right down the middle so that Nunez would have a two-way go on the return.
Duarte's punt is short. Bounces at the 40, takes a banning roll, and is downed at the 41-yard line. So Beaumont will get the ball back with 1:39 left and one timeout remaining.
The ball hit a banning player at the 39. That's where the ball should have been spotted. But it doesn't look like this officiating crew knows that rule. And they marked the ball at the 41, so I think that answers my question.
I think the best stat of the night so far, we've seen the Cougars 4 weeks in a row, and they've worn 4 different uniforms. So maybe the trivia question for next week is, what are they going to come out in next Friday?
I'm guessing it's the same uniforms they wore the first week.
I would think you're right, but we'll see. Cooper pass to Nunez, 30, 25, first down, rolls to the 20.
Yeah, Nunez, he's open a lot, but unfortunately Banning forgot to put somebody on him on that play.
And on the ground, Cuellar gets out of a tackle at the 20, cuts it back at the 15, a penalty flag thrown there.
Yeah, I'm glad it was thrown by somebody else besides the referee. It was thrown by the official on the near sideline. That's good.
Holding against Beaumont will bring it back. Nice crowd on hand tonight, as usual. War for the Wheel packs them in no matter where they play at Wichita. And the Beaumont home crowds have been great this year.
They really have. They had a great crowd last week. First week at home against Orange Vista, the home stands were packed. And obviously the opposition stands on the far side are packed as well here for this ball game.
Clock restarts again. It's 1st and 20. Cooper gets a chance to air it out. And a mix-up on the pattern, and that one is incomplete. And Chris kind of shaking his head knowing that one had a chance to be intercepted.
Yeah, you get the feeling that one of the wide receivers didn't run the right route. Because the only player that had a chance to catch that football was number 7, Charlie Ellison, in the green jersey.
2nd down and 10 for the Cougars. Cuellar stays in at running back. 3 wide receivers to the right this time. Cooper with time throws the screen. It's caught. German at the 30. Out of a tackle, 25, 20, 15, and up near the 13-yard line.
Oh, that was a good run by Ellison because there were 2 Bronco players near the 30-yard line that looked like they had him hemmed in, but he was able to run around them, break an ankle tackle, get down the sideline, and then he got clotheslined near the 13-yard line. Legal tackle, no problem with that.
30 seconds to go. The clock's running. 3rd and 3. And Cooper across the middle. Nunez makes the catch. First down. Did he get in? No.
Well, it's the nearest official there was the official in the end zone. None of the officials on the sidelines were close to the goal line, so they couldn't really. They didn't have a very good angle, so the back judge had to make that call, and that's a tough call for him. And it looks like Beaumont just called their last time out with the ball resting just short of the goal line.
16 seconds left, and Beaumont out of timeouts. So do you call 2 plays here just in case?
I think so, yeah. Now you have no timeouts, so if by chance Beaumont tries to run the ball and they don't score a touchdown and they don't get out of bounds, then I think it'd be awfully tough to be able to run another play.
Trying to see what hash mark they're going to put the ball on. Is there a wide side of the field here?
Well, it's closer to the right hash mark. It'd be pretty in line with the right upright.
You're going to have a better view on this one than I am.
You know, Beaumont only needs about, less than a half a yard. You'd like to, even with no timeouts, you'd love to be able to hand the ball off to Cuellar and have him run it in. But that's the risk you take, though, if you run the football and you don't make it.
Motion. Cuellar off tackle, and he's in.
And there goes a flag because one of the Banning players got mixed up with Anson Kraut there on the far sideline.
After
just
the play?
just out of the end zone.
I thought it was after the play, though.
Yeah, I thought it was too. I think the touchdown is going to count. It's just a question of who's this dead ball foul on.
Referee will tell us in a moment. Sportsmanlike conduct called on both teams, so they offset.
And the referee should have said that the touchdown's still good.
Well, they've got it on the scoreboard.
And they're lining up for 2 points. Hand the ball off to Nunez, right corner, trots into the end zone, put 2 more points on the board, and that makes it
52-0.
52-0.
Nunez went in untouched with 13 seconds to go until halftime. We're going to call that a 1-yard touchdown run for Cuellar, his 3rd of the night.
And I think the Beaumont coaching staff has to be, satisfied with the fact that Beaumont's been able to run the football in this ball game. That's something that they've had some issues with in the first 3 games.
And they're going to need to run the football when they get into CBL play.
They're going to need to run it next week.
Yes.
San Jacinto is, to me, you look at their ball club, I think they're just as strong as a CBL team.
I'd agree. Taken at the 20, returned up across the 30 and out to the 38-yard line with 7 seconds left.
I don't know if you're Banning, if you have a Hail Mary type of passing play here, this would be a good time to run it. One thing that it was also a disadvantage for Banning in this ball game, they've only played 1 game.
Right.
And Beaumont's played 3.
AC Propane, located at 296 California in Beaumont. They've been in business for over 40 years, and they offer the most competitive prices around. They'll save you money on your propane bill, residential and commercial propane delivery, and on-site bottle refills. Call 951-845-8800 or visit them. Might be the final play of the first half. Nicholas, ball knocked out of his hand. It's loose, picked up by Banning at the 30 and up to the 40-yard line. That should end the first half of play.
And I think that was Kevin Palacios, number 93, that knocked the ball out of the quarterback's hands, but Banning recovered it, got upfield, and Beaumont and their coaching staff, I think, should be very satisfied with the way their team played in the first half.
Banning's going to go to the locker room. Beaumont will just go to the end zone to our right and talk it over with a 52-0 lead. We will take a break, come back with halftime festivities from Banning High School. It's the War of the Wheel, Beaumont versus Banning, and it's all Beaumont so far, 52-0. The Cougars with the lead on KMET. Beaumont leading Banning 52-0. The Cougars kicked off. Banning now facing second down and 13 from their own 15-yard line. Broncos try the middle again, up the gut, and there's nothing to be had. But we should note that the clock is now running here in the second half.
We believe that the second half will be in a running clock situation. So that means that even if a play is out of bounds or there's a change of possession, the clock is going to keep running.
So it's going to be a quick second half. That's because one team has a lead that's bigger than 35 points, and both coaches agreed to it. So the second half should be pretty quick. Nicholas back to pass and throws it incomplete across the middle. He was trying to find his tight end, Rocky Hartley. Fourth down and 10. And Beaumont's going to put the punt return team out there.
It's interesting that Gabe Nunez is back deep. Now I wonder, you don't want to tell a player not to not to play, play to the whistle or play 100%, but let's use common sense here. Beaumont's up by 52 points, and Nunez is one of your best players. If he fields the punt,
well, maybe it's a fair catch or they don't kick to him. Let's see. Yeah. Bounces at the 40. He's just going to let it roll. They'll down it at the 48. 52-0 Beaumont. Cougars get the ball. We're back after this. Beaumont, we've got a running clock here in the second half. The Cougars starting with the ball at their own 48-yard line with a backup quarterback, backup running back, and a 4-yard loss on first down, so it's second and 14. Malachi Jones is the new quarterback. Christian Davis is the new running back, and they did not have a clean hand off there. Loose ball, and Davis fell on top of it.
Yeah, you have basically second team everybody out there on offense. Second team offensive line, wide receivers, running backs, quarterback. And you brought up a good point that the JV team couldn't play this week. So some of these players that thought they were going to play in that game now are playing in this game.
Well, I heard the freshman team didn't play, but I think the JV team was supposed to play at a neutral site yesterday against the private school from San Diego, but then it started hailing, if you remember. So I don't know whether they got the full game in or not. Incomplete pass on that play. So it's going to be fourth down. But yeah, this is a great opportunity for a lot of guys that didn't see their snaps this week.
So Taven Anderson, who ran in a 2-point conversion in the first half, this is going to be his first chance to punt the football.
He's back at the 27-yard line waiting for the snap and gets off a good kick. All the way down to the 25, takes a one bounce there, and Banning picks it up at the 25, returns it to the 30.
He's got a chance.
The 40, the 50, about a 25-yard return. So Banning will have good field position as they try to get on the scoreboard. Beaumont leading 52-0. Will return in a moment. On the field. Banning's best field position of the night, technically at the 49-yard line of Beaumont. And a little pass across the middle is caught to the 40-yard line. That's a 9-yard game. Cougar football brought to you by Class Axe Auto Body and Paint at 375 West 6th Street in Beaumont. Stop in and see why they have thousands of satisfied customers. They've been serving the area for over 20 years with the latest in collision repair technology to get you on the road safely and quickly.
And just like the offense, the defense has many second-team players out there.
It's a three-man Cougar front. And a timeout on the field taken by Banning. So we'll take a timeout of our own and come back right after this. Timeout, and they're going to go to the run with a handoff to the right. Stopped at the 41-yard line. That did not get the first down.
James Diaz, number 44, made that tackle for Beaumont. I think the coaching staff also has to be very satisfied that for the second week in a row, the defense kept the opposing offense off the scoreboard. He pitched a shutout for the second week in a row.
Yep. Third down and a long one to go for the Broncos. Motion to the left. And they try the left side and did not get it. That was a play that was slow to develop. The misdirection, Eric Smith ended up with it, but fell a yard short. .250 to go in the third quarter.
One of the Banning Bronco players was shaken up on the play, and he's got to come out.
Remind you, you're listening to KMET, Banning, Beaumont, Redlands, Palm Springs, your home for Cougar football.
Banning did not get the first down, but they got a really good spot.
Now, in case you're wondering, the clock is running during all this, but you can still have a delay of game penalty if you take too long.
I'm not sure why the official is winding his arm like run the clock. It's a running clock already. You don't have to do that.
Fourth and a long one here. From the Beaumont 40-yard line. And Nicholas throws across the middle. Intercepted? No, almost intercepted. at the 22-yard line. Cougars had a pretty good shot at that one, but
if anything, it probably should have been offensive pass interference. But there is a flag that's thrown at the 29-yard line in the direction of where the ball was being thrown. There was a Cougar there, and it looked like the wide receiver just ran right into him.
Yep, and that's what they called.
Yeah, that was the right call.
So Beaumont will decline it, and they'll get the ball back. Change of possession with a minute and a half to go.
Change of possession on
Sandtrap Sports Bar and Grill, your one-stop destination for food, drinks, and entertainment in Beaumont. Watch your game on one of 16 HD screens with DirecTV. Enjoy great food, a comfortable atmosphere, a friendly staff, and live entertainment. Sandtrap has it all. You can visit them tonight or check them out online at theSandtrapSportsBar.com. All Beaumont, 52-0 here. Cougars with all of the second team out there now. Malachi Jones takes a high snap, pitches it off, and Davis cuts it back to the middle and gets out to the 45-yard line.
And Jones did well just to pitch that ball off to the running back. There were two Banning Broncos that were bearing down on him, and at least Jones was able to pitch the ball to the running back. Even if it was forward, that doesn't matter. It's still legal play because Jones was behind the line of scrimmage.
So 2nd down and 5 for Beaumont. Jones unloads, incomplete.
Looked like he got hit as he threw the football, and that's why it sailed on him.
There were two Banning defenders rushing. Cadence Temez was one of them. That's going to be the final play of the third quarter. 52-0. Beaumont leads Banning as we go to the fourth on KMET. To keep everybody healthy and get ready for their DVL opener at home next week against Yucca Valley. 3rd and 5 for Beaumont. Motion to the near side, and it's the sweep. Outside to the 50, 45, 1st down and out of bounds. The carrier was Jorge Becerra. First time we've seen him this year.
First down, Beaumont Cougars.
So Beaumont gets the first down. That'll move the yardage sticks, although the clock was already running here in the second half with this big lead. 11 minutes remaining. High snap. Jones brings it in. Davis on the left side is down to the 39.
And I think if you're Beaumont head coach Jeff Steinberg, you'd love for your team that's out there now, which is second team players for the most part, you would love to see them be able to drive the field and be able to score one more touchdown.
Yeah, give them some confidence. Second down. Becerra, nothing doing.
I would like to ask Angela, you have a missing.
Well, and if you're banning, you look at it from the banning perspective, you'd love to be able to shut Beaumont out for the entire second half, and at least on defense that would give you something to build for next week's game against Yucca Valley.
Third down. Nice throw. Out of bounds, short of the first down marker. I believe that was Becerra again, wasn't it?
It was number 81 that
Nope.
made the catch.
That's Matt Garcia.
You have others? No. Mark.
He's a sophomore. That was not enough for the first down.
EJ.
I think the Cougars are about a yard, maybe a yard and a half short.
Yep, 4th and 1 with 9 minutes remaining. So the second team Beaumont offense stays out there. Davis in the pistol, or Jones in the pistol rather, gives it off on the left side, and they did not get it. Trying to go around the left side, that was Jacoby Carter on the carry. Banning gets the ball back, trailing 52-0, will return after this timeout. Turnover on downs. Banning gets the ball back, and Nicholas throws complete to the 40 and out to the 43-yard line.
Another shout out to my girl.
Axel Avila, number 9, made that catch. About 8-yard gain.
Another shout out to Dominic. I am proud and love you from your girl.
So second down and 3. Wide receiver on the right. Running back goes in motion. And that is Eric Smith trying the right side and being stopped for a 1-yard loss.
Looked like number 71, Dylan Rodriguez, was one of the Cougars that was in on that tackle.
6:45 remaining. Third down and 3 to go for Banning. Now we'll say good luck to the Broncos the rest of the year. And we'll see a lot of you in person next Friday night at Don Smith Field as Beaumont hosts San Jacinto. Nicholas hit, dropped, ball comes out, and a pile up at the 35-yard line. Let's see.
I think the Cougars recovered the ball.
Well, Beaumont says they did. And the officials agree. The 5th turnover of the night by Banning. Beaumont gets the ball back and will return after this. to keep it on the ground here and just get out of here as quickly as possible as Malachi Jones hands it off for a 2-yard loss. Second and 12 for the Cougars, in no hurry. We've had a running clock this entire second half. And Jones taken down in the backfield that time for a loss that gets us down to the 4.5-minute mark.
Malachi Jones is only a freshman, so this is some good experience to play in a varsity game.
Yeah. You don't normally see a freshman quarter, but you got to remember Cooper's only a sophomore.
You rarely see freshmen starting quarterbacks in college.
Jeff Steinberg told us on the morning show on KMET this morning, we're young. The screen pass is incomplete.
But you'd have to say, even though the Cougars are young, they're very talented. And being off to this 4-0 start against the competition that they've played, I think you'd have to say that even though maybe in some areas the Cougars don't have a lot of experience, they played some good football and they deserve to be 4-0.
Fourth down, Beaumont with Anderson to punt. Gets off a good kick that bounces at the 15, goes inside the 10 and out of bounds. So Banning will get another chance at it, and we'll pause for this break on KMET. See, wouldn't you guess it, Banning took a timeout. We've got one more break to get in. With 2:15 left to go, we'll send it back for one more quick message on KMET. In fact, we'd be almost done, but Banning took a timeout, so 2:15 remaining. And the Broncos ready to go. On 1st and 10. And that pass is out to the 15-yard line complete. It'll be interesting to see because the starters only played one half tonight. Stat-wise, how that goes for everybody, but
we know Cuellar's numbers will be better.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdown runs. And Nunez had a touchdown. Kraut caught 2. German caught 1. All things considered, Cooper probably had a pretty good first half throwing.
Yeah.
Not 450 yards, but he only played half a game.
No, probably about half of that, I would think.
And Nicholas is taken down at the 5-yard line on the sack. And some of the youngsters up front for the Cougars
Number 30 with the sack. That is Robert Gucci.
leading the way.
With the sack.
Isaac Vega now was in on that tackle for Beaumont, number 19. Third down coming up for Banning. No hurry here with exactly a minute to go.
With less than a minute to go, let's hear it for your Banning.
I'll say thanks to all those of you who watched us on the City of Banning YouTube feed tonight. If you didn't get enough football tonight on KMET, we'll have college action tomorrow and the Rams on Sunday night. On the ground to the 12-yard line, and maybe we'll have one more play. 25 seconds left. Maybe not. Now we got an injured Beaumont player.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
It's the last thing you want, particularly in a game like this. So both teams will go to their respective sidelines. And they're just going to start the clock, and I think that's going to be the end of this one.
Yeah, in a few seconds the game will be over and both teams will go through the line of handshakes, and then the wheel will be brought out and Beaumont will celebrate retaining it.
It is officially over, and the line of handshakes will begin. 52-0, Beaumont gets the victory, and we'll take one more timeout and come back and wrap it up after this. Player was number 71, offensive lineman Dylan Rodriguez, and the good news is he is up and standing on his own out there on the field. The game is over. We had the line of single file handshakes, and good to see two old friends, the head coaches, Jeff Steinberg and John Tyree, with handshakes, smiles, and backslaps. And now the Cougars out at midfield in a big circle talking this one over with the coaches, Brett.
Yeah, and I think they do have a lot to celebrate about. They won the ball game easily, won by a big score. They get to retain the wheel for another year. They keep their undefeated record going at 4-0. And you just get the feeling, and it's just a feeling that that this Beaumont team knows they're good, but they know that they can improve and improve quite a bit.
And they will need to improve next week against a very good San Jacinto team in their final game before Citrus Belt League play starts on October 1st. Again, Beaumont will play next week at home. Then they'll be off the week of the 24th and start CBL play on the road October 1st at Redlands East Valley. And we'll say good luck to Banning the rest of the way. They didn't show it tonight, Brett, but if they can hold things together, they're going to win some games in the Desert Valley League.
I think so. I think that the fact that they'd only played one game coming into this game was definitely a disadvantage to the Broncos, and they just need to get out there and just play some more games, and I think eventually they'll break through with a victory.
Well, that'll do it for tonight. With the win, Beaumont goes to 4-0. Banning is now 0-2. Our thanks to Martin Dussault and Jeff Steinberg from Beaumont High School, and to Jesse Sanchez producing tonight's game at the KMET studios. Beaumont will be home next Friday, September 17th, to meet San Jacinto in a non-league game. Our live coverage begins at 6:45 p.m. with the pregame show right here on KMET Radio 1490 AM and KMET1490am.com. Again, 1490 AM on your radio, KMET1490am.com on your computer, or the free phone apps for iPhone and Android. Until next time, for Brett Malek, I'm Mitch McClellan, wishing you a good evening from Banning, reminding you tonight's final score in the War for the Wheel. Beaumont 52, Banning nothing.